I had a very close call a couple of days ago and almost died out in the desert on a hike. And it coincided like the next day or whenever this started coming up on the news about Hannah Moody that she didn't make it back from a hike. And so I was going to upload my story and the hike in general, and then this occurred. Okay, so the reason for this upload that not too many people have near-death experience hiking in the desert. Some do. I'm not the only one. Uh, but not too many people have a really, really super close call to where you barely make it back, and then you can kind of reiterate to people what it's like to die in the desert of heat stroke. Okay, now this isn't counting where the person you start convulsing, your heart starts racing, and you drop over. And then they find them maybe 20 minutes later, but their heart is still fibrillating. I'm not counting that. I'm talking about where you do indeed you barely make it back to the vehicle. Uh, so on a scale to 100, that would be like uh, 99%. Well, the experience I had a couple of days ago east of Las Vegas was about um, a 94%, where I wouldn't have lasted. I wouldn't have lasted much longer. I was cramping up. I was nauseous. My heart was racing. I was having to force myself to breathe. But even that wasn't as close as the close call I had on one of my open hikes, where I was able to get into the vehicle, but just barely because I could hardly operate the key. I wasn't able to drive. I had to pull over. It's just a long story. I don't want to branch off on that. But uh, here's what it's like so that people understand it. Because people are curious and they wonder. They see the cartoons of like somebody dragging themselves across the desert and they come up to a pop machine or they're thinking of a ice cream parlor up ahead or something like that. And I keep reiterating to people that's not what it's like, that you can die from heat in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, quite easily, water or no water. Okay, now if it's ice water, that helps. Uh, but like the people that were found in California, where he went with the baby, the dog, the wife, they were found dead with water in the pack. I keep telling people you can have a truckload of water. The heat is what will kill you in record time, in a few minutes, 30 minutes. And so when I let my video play, uh, the thing that I want people to take note of is that I was joking about it right up until almost the end. Like I'm going to show on Google Earth where I was during the hike, during like when I say certain things, and then I'll let the video play, which isn't very long. But I was half-heartedly joking about it right up till almost the end. And so what I emphasized, like with Hannah Moody, not to um, upset people, but when people die from heat stroke, like what she did, that she could have been talking quite normally, making videos uh, 45 minutes, an hour before. I was. I was. The last video that I made, I held up my tea. I had a half a bag of tea left, and I said, well, this is it. That has to last me all the way back. And I had about a mile and a half to go. And so the point is that you'll be overtaken by heat a lot faster than you think you will, and that you could be talking normally, making videos, uh, or joking about, which I did. My video shows that I was joking about, well, I hope I make it back. Uh, and you could be doing that right up until almost you get back to the vehicle, and then you fall over. For instance, she was found 600 yards, 600 yards from the vehicle. Well, that doesn't mean she got out of the vehicle and then passed out after walking 600 yards. That means that she almost made it back. And so, what I'm saying is that a person can actually make it most of the way back and still be talking pretty much normally. So anyway, I'll let this play, and then I'm going to go to Google Earth, and then I'm going to splice this before my video, and then I'll let my video play. And I emphasize that while my video plays, notice that almost right up until the end, I was joking about it. And yet, even then, I almost did not make it back.
Was
So
found dead along a
here,
trail in
here she
Scottsdale,
is.
Arizona. The
Now, this is
Scottsdale
some
Police
previous hike,
Department confirmed in a press release
of
she was
course, but
31 years
in the
old.
heat, it
According
is
to
not what you
authorities,
think,
Hannah
where you're
had
going to
been
be out there
reported
for
missing by
hours.
friends
She
on
could
May
be making
21st.
videos
A
like
routine
this. Now,
initial
there
search
she's at the
took
top of
place
the
before
mountain.
being called off
That's
for
still
the
quite a
evening.
distance
Just
away.
after noon the
But a person
following
could be
day,
doing
her
videos
body
like
was
that
found
and
near the
be
Gateway
dead
Trailhead of
45 minutes
Scottsdale's
later. I
McDowell's
absolutely
Sonoran
assure you.
Preserve. Nearly a
I
week
assure
after
you
the
for a
tragedy,
fact
her
that
mom,
once
Claire
you get
Moody,
overheated
expressed her
and
grief.
your
She
body
told
temperature
Arizona's
starts
family
rising, you
on
can
May
be dead quite
28th, "It's
quickly.
numbing. I feel
It's
like it's
not a
not
matter of
real.
getting
It's a
thirsty
mystery
and
to us right
my
now,
water's
and we're
run out
trying to
and you go
piece it
on
all
for hours.
together
No,
because
you
we
could be
don't
dead
know if
45
any
minutes.
conditions that she had
So
or anything
let's
like
go to
that
Google
would have
Earth
caused
and I'll
anything."
show
However, Terry doesn't
where
believe
my
there was
video
foul play,
was.
noting the brutal Arizona weather. She said, "We're all assuming it was
And
heat-related, but you know that's
okay, let's
inconclusive.
see
There
how
were no
this
signs
works.
of foul play." She further expressed her gratitude towards Hannah's
Now, my
family,
hike was
friends,
a
and
12-mile
community
hike.
as
I
they
don't know
joined
how long
together in
hers
the initial
was.
effort to
And I
find her.
started
She
hiking
added, "The
like
fact that there were so
1:32 in the
many people
morning.
who loved and cared for
Um,
her that took on that role, we're
it
really
didn't
grateful
start
for
out
that."
where I
And
wanted
she
to,
hopes
but
that
I was
others will
hiking
learn from
right
the tragedy
here.
by taking additional precautions
Okay,
when
I
setting off
parked
on a
up
hike. She
here.
said, "I feel like the best thing people can do is
I
bring a
parked up
friend. I
here,
know that's hard
got
because people
out,
like to be in their
and I
solitude,
come
but that
in
would
and
be my
I go,
advice."
I'm not even to
Ultimately,
the
the
top of
grieving
Heartbreak
mother
Hill
reflected
yet.
on her daughter's passion for the
Okay, and
outdoors.
that's
She
right here.
emphasized,
And
"Anytime
so
she
I
could
was
climb
in
on
here
top
and
of
I go, boy, I
something
better
and
make
look up
good
over the
time.
nature and see the
And so I
sunrise
come
or the
down,
sunset, those were her favorite
come
things
down the
to
wash.
do."
First light starts occurring in here. Actually, down in here, first light starts occurring, and I go, boy, uh, I cut this segment out. I go, I got to be all the way over on the other side, right there. I got to be over on the other side, and I may have to turn back because I may not make it. And so I come down, I come down, I come down, I come over, and then I go up this long wash. And actually, the goal I thought was here. See where I had marked the black rocks? That was my goal. It turned out it wasn't. It was up here. Once I got up there, it turned out it was all the way up here. And so, in other words, that's how mistakes can add up, and a person can end up dead in the desert. And I'm an experienced hiker, and I know not to let it happen. Now, just for the record, I did make it back. Okay, I did make it back. I calculated, okay, I think I can make it. And if I go back, if I don't lollygag and go back, I think I can make it. So I did make it, to my credit. Okay, and so up here, I was already saying, boy, this is an emergency because I have to go all the way back. And so I come back, I come back, I come back, and in here a couple times I was going, this is an emergency. I may not make it back. Okay, and I come down and I come down and I come down, and now I got to go all the way back uphill in the heat and the sun. I was being baked alive and burning up all in here. Now I come here. Now I got to go all the way back up, and in here I did the segment where I view over to the mountain, and I go. Uh, I say something, and I mention that I could be videoing my own, documenting my own death. I think I know it. I said that when they find the video on the camera, this will document what happened, that he was way back here, but he was already struggling and he had miles to go. And then up in here, I did the video. The last video that I took, I showed the tea and I go, this is it. That's all I got left. I already was dehydrated and practically falling over. And so in here, I know, oh God, I did it. I can't make it. I know I'm not going to make it. And I drank the tea and had to make it and make it and make it and go and go and go and go. And I made it. I made it to the van, but believe me, just barely, just barely. So the moral of the story is the heat, get it out of your head that the heat's going to kill you in 2 or 3 hours. You can be dead in 45 minutes and still be making videos and walking along hiking, and you could be dead 45 minutes or an hour later. I absolutely assure you. Oh boy. It's so dark out. It's a new moon, meaning no moon. It's so dark out, like I'm panning the camera and you can't even see it. I mean, it's totally dark, and it's going to be 100 degrees today, so I have to make pretty good time. As a matter of fact, I drove past the parking spot and I saw the sign that said Redstone, and I had to turn around and come back to the parking spot. That's how dark it is. There's nothing for visual reference, absolutely zero. See, I'm not even to the top of Heartbreak Hill to start working down. So this is going to be a long hike. This is definitely at least a 12-mile hike. And I've got to watch out for snakes. See, I look behind me too, because mountain lions don't come at you from the front. They creep up from behind. You know, so I look back for glowing eyes. That's one thing about cats. They're glowing eyes. I don't know if the camera can see it, but there's Venus. "10 minutes before 5, I could just barely, I took off my headlight. That lighter colored limestone is the virgin limestone. Oh Lord, I don't know if you can see how steep that is, but coming up this wash is way steeper, and it's tougher than what I imagined. I hope I don't break down. I mean, I'm going to go to the goal, but then when I come down and then have to go all the way back up, I hope I don't just physically start breaking down. But that's the way it goes. If I do, I'll just stop and rest. I've got a problem that the bottom of the pack from scraping has violated the bottom of the thing. I'm gonna have to tie it up and keep going, because it's dangerously close to puncturing my water. Way harder than what I expected. I expected to long since be back and approaching the van, and I'm not even to where I'm going yet. There it is. This is going to be a close call. I'm going to have to get in there, get the rocks, and try to make it back on available water. The exertion was much more than I anticipated. I went through a lot of water, but I did make it. Now I got to pick up the rocks and beeline straight back and pace myself. Anyway, this is an emergency situation, so I had to make it work. I've got to be able to make it most of the way back with most of the heavy weight in the bag. And then at the last second, if worse comes to worse, I can transfer stuff to my backpack. But I've got to make it a good part of the way back with the heavy weight in that pack. There's too much stuff in it. My camera, my gun. Okay, here I go. See, this is a triple junction, and you take the middle one with those rock features. That's if you want to come up here, but I wouldn't do it. It was way, way worse than what I expected, and what it was, as far as miscalculating, was that when I came down here for my previous hike, I realized I was coming down a wash, and it went for a long way, but coming up it turned out I actually was coming up a very steep wash for like 2 miles, and it almost killed me, and it may. You know, I still have to get back. But far more strenuous than what I thought. You know, like it's 10 o'clock. I expected to be walking up to the van. I don't know where his other horn went. But his bones got strewn around. Oh, there's the horn. Case study of, I don't know, shoulder bone. I can't see in the viewfinder. Yeah, I guess I'm filming it. Yeah, but there's the horn. There's where I was. I'm just showing what's here. I've got a long way to go. Deliverance. At least I'm to the main wash. And now I got to go right and work all the way back uphill. And here it is 11:30, and I was supposed to be home by now. So anyways, I'll live through it. I always do. I'm kind of tired. I think I'll lay under there and take a rest. I just want to show what's here, and if not to say my goodbyes. What a death march. Whew. This will be the video they find on the camera and go, well, his videos say he was struggling and it showed he still had miles to go. But gotta keep going. That's it for the rest of the way back.